back 2 weeks, but that could potentially be pushed back even further depending on what happens here.
Right.
I think you got to play it.
Right.
I mean, it's hour to hour now. It's not even day to day anymore.
Well,
it seems like things are changing hourly.
The thing that makes baseball different, obviously, is the pitchers. The pitchers have to stretch out. They've got to get ready for the season. And so if you take 2 or 3 weeks, if you say you take 2 weeks off now, you're essentially going to be starting over with the pitchers to try and get them ready. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of arm problems. So that's a tougher situation to start up. I mean, I think hockey in the NBA, you know, if you know, say Sunday they decided, hey, this ain't as bad as we think it is, everyone can resume life. I mean, I think the NBA could be back up and running in, you know, 5 or 6 days.
Well, Cuban said 30, right? They expected 30 and maybe 60 days for the NBA.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
What I'm saying is that the hockey and basketball, you can get back into it a lot quicker. Baseball, because of the pitchers, and they can only go one every 5 days. And you know, you've got to stretch them out. You might need 30 days to get ready.
But getting to hockey, I mean, these guys they're going to have to practice, because if they do start up, and I don't even know if they will, but if they do start up, they're going to, my guess is they're canceling the regular season. This is just a guess. They're going to cancel the regular season. They're going to start with a shortened version of the postseason, maybe 5-game series, something like that. And I would guess sometime in May. This is just a hunch. And these guys got to stay in shape, though. Or are they practicing? What are they going to do? Are they going to play those postseason games in front of fans, or are they going to keep fans out?
Here's what I think. Here is my plan, right? If it gets to, you know, 6 weeks or something, so now we're into May, right, or into mid-April or whatever. Everybody makes the playoffs, right? And you start with 3-game series, go to 5-game series, and then 7-game series for the last 3 series. Why not?
Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it.
I would do it that way. That way, it would make it exciting. You know, you'd have to play back-to-backs to get that much, you know, those many the 3-game series in and stuff. But who cares?
Let's go out to Jeff out in Pittsburgh. How you doing, Jeff?
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate what you said. How the media is causing this frenzy and this chaos. I nominate you.
Look, I don't think the media is causing this frenzy.
In the morning. I want you to take Marty's spot in the morning.
I really don't think the media is blown out of proportion. I mean, look, sports is canceled. You know, things are canceled. The president, there's a state of emergency.
That's not what he said. What he said was that the media is basically blowing what the actual thing is out of proportion, because they're not telling people what it actually is. They're not talking about what it actually is and what you should do if you get it, or if you think you have it. They're talking about all of the, you know, we've got the political angle, we've got the, you know, big world angle, we've got everything canceled angle, we've got all this other stuff. But the bottom line is, people need to know, if you get this thing, you know, it could be serious, but for the most part, in 85 to 90% of the cases, it's not. So, I mean, that's, I think, what he's talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not minimizing it.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep it from spreading.
I understand that, but again, I think people think you're trying to minimize it when you say, this is what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is.
Let's go out to Jerry in Pittsburgh. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, guys. Paul, I wanted to compliment you on the article that you wrote today about, you know, the people that you know, people say, you know, it's just sports. It's, you know, that it's canceled. It's not a big deal. Well, you know, I work in the industry. I work for Landmark doing security at, like, Peterson and Heinz Field and places like that, and Stage AE. And, you know, people like me are losing potentially thousands of dollars in money that we use to pay our bills and you know, feed our families. And you know, people, so when people say, you know, it's just sports, canceling it is not a big deal. Well, I mean, for some of us, it is a big deal. And so, you know, when things like the Penguins, you know, donating to pay part-time staff, we appreciate that. I wish, you know, the Pirates would do something like that. I know Mr. Nutting probably wouldn't consider that, but, you know, people got to realize that people like me make, you know, this is what helps us feed our families.
You know, Jerry, thanks for calling in here. And it would go a long way if Bob Nutting and the Pirates did do that. And I bet you they do
I bet you
follow
they'll do-
suit.
right. I think they'll do
the Penguins did it. The Penguins players are pitching in. The foundation and the Mario Lemieux Foundation all pitching in to help the full-time and the part-time arena employees. So, I commend the Penguins for doing that. Mark Cuban has done it with the Mavericks.
Look at the 8 cities that were supposed to host NCAA tournaments this weekend. 4 days of the NCAA. What that would have meant to those city restaurants, bars, cab drivers. Everybody. It's a devastating thing, man.
It's devastating all the way around because not only are you talking about the workers at the arenas that work concessions and work gates, but you're also talking about all the photographers and videographers for AT&T Sports and all the graphic people, the studio people. All those people are relying on games. The NCAA tournament, they hire people out, freelance people. These people aren't getting paid now. So it is affecting way more people than just the players. And, you got to feel bad. And, I'm glad the Penguins are doing things like this. And I'm sure the Pirates will at some point when they figure things out. I know they're trying to figure out plans for the start of the season. There's a couple contingency plans out there. So I guess when they get things in place, and the Pirates have been really proactive in getting information out there. So I'd imagine they'll plan on paying those people.
I would hope. I would think they will too, because it's the right thing to do. I mean, you don't know how many games you're going to be off.
Yeah.
And and here's the thing, like you said, in the North Shore. Think about all the businesses on the North Shore that are going to lose out if they lose 2 or 3 weeks of baseball games.
All right, now to our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the night from Ken Rosenthal. If you read it today, official memo from Union says that players will be permitted to stay in the area of the spring training facility. Players will be permitted to travel to club's home city, and players will be permitted to travel to their off-season home or location. So that's the deal right now for the Pirates and the players and all the other teams in Major League Baseball. We're going to take a break right now. Back with more of your phone calls, maybe some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.